Hey friends, happy Wednesday, the 8th of March. It's nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I will give you a reflection on the daily readings. They're linked below. Click the link, read the readings prayerfully, even 2 or 3 times, nice and slowly. Then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to the to-do list and all of the other things that take up our bandwidth. I want to invite you to a parish mission tonight and tomorrow night. At 6:30 p.m., it'll kick off over at the SCM Parish Center, 624 Bridger. There's a meal at 5:30 and childcare will be provided. Tonight, Lee and I are providing the meal. So you know that there will be plenty of meat and hopefully we'll be able to see you there. We're working on Jeremiah, the prophet, and a section of Matthew's gospel today. Jeremiah, part of the story of Jeremiah is that he, recorded and knew that people were plotting against him as he prophesied in the really chaotic and painful days leading up to the exile to Babylon, the defeat by the Babylonians and then the exile. And it's legendarily said that he was killed by exiles in Egypt, or maybe not by exiles, by folks that fled and carried him against his will, kidnapped him down to Egypt. And so here early on in Jeremiah's story, we hear Jeremiah catching wind of a plot to pay attention to all of his words so that we can accuse him of whatever, treason or speaking against the people or discouraging morale, all of those sorts of things. So Jeremiah, records that there's a plot against him and then in his prophecy turns towards the Lord. So, I would start thinking, okay, what do I need to do? What's the to-do list in order to deal with this situation? Jeremiah, on the other hand, Old Testament prophet, reveals to us the first thing to do is to turn to the Lord, right? To ask the Lord to help us in our difficulty and in our pain. How about for us? Probably nobody's conspiring to accuse us, to trip us up, to murder us, but what is it that we need to turn to the Lord in these days and ask for the help of God in order to make right or help us in our fight? The psalm response is from Psalm 31, and it also then is a psalm that follows after that first reading, and it is a psalm of petition, asking that God would help us. So especially if you are asking God for help, perhaps to pray that psalm response. Okay, flipping over to the gospel. We have Jesus who teaches that the Son of Man, a title that he uses for himself, that the Son of Man is to suffer. And then immediately after that, we hear about this desire from the mother of the sons of Zebedee, James and John, that they might have places of honor in his kingdom, on his right, on his left. Jesus invites them to drink the cup that he's going to drink. Generally, that's seen as like the cup of suffering. They say that they can do it. And then Jesus, so Jesus has invited them deeper into relationship with him, but still does not give the seats of honor at his right and at his left. Then he takes it as a teachable moment. And so he, gathers the 12, I think, right? The 12. So the core group of students. And he teaches them that they are to be different than the world, different than the Gentiles, for whom, titles and authority and money and rank and privilege all mean that people have different privileges. And Jesus teaches them that in his community, that it's about service, it's about being slaves, it's about being last and least, it's about giving of ourselves even to the point of ransoming, or even to the point of giving our lives as a ransom for many. So just to spend a bit of time in that question, right? Like, where am I called to serve today? Where am I called to give of myself today? And especially if we find ourselves serving in abundance, then perhaps the additional question that needs to be asked is, where am I called to serve myself? Not in a selfish way, but just in that place of caring for the creature that I am and allowing myself to be healed and nourished and looked after. I had one other thought. Service and sacrifice and least. Lost it. So where is it that there we go. If you have lots of opportunities for service, for serving, don't overlook that little way of St. Therese, right? We can do things out of duty, obligation, expectation. It's truly transformative when we do it with deep, profound love. And so as you find yourself maybe going through the motions, as happens so often to me, to remember that we're doing this out of absolute love, and that can completely change things. So let's seek to be of service. Let's seek that that service might not just be duty and obligation, but loving, transformative service. And if we are people of great service, then to also ask the question, how are we being of service to this creature of God? Not just giving, but also being attentive to our need to receive. All right, read those readings prayerfully. Maybe we'll see you tonight at the 99. God bless y'all.